Good morning. It is Shay and Silver Lake. Yeah, my door. And it is Monday, May 5th. Or May 5th, May 20th. Wow, that was like crazy. And it's 31 degrees and the high is supposed to be 61. It is cold. I have my gloves on. 31 degrees. Okay, so all I got done yesterday, because my ear was really wonky, was I did strip. I'm not going to use this stuff. It's no good. Or the mat, or that other thingy. Like, it's not, it's falling all apart. So I'm going to have to break those down and dispose of those. But this is what I have left of what I can create. So this is what I got off of that. And then I still have, I think what I'm going to do with this is if I can figure out how to screw this into the post over there, wouldn't it make a really cool bird perch? I don't know. I was just thinking that, and I got the metal pieces off that thing. I like that. This is a bird cage that we found at a thrift store. That's pretty cool. It opens up, right, this whole top piece opens up. You have to stick your finger in there and push that thing out. That's a bike basket I found in the garage. So I thought I'd try to do something with it. Mostly all I did was stand in that pathetic window right there and stared out at my beautiful Hagar. I love it. I love it so much. I love it so much. And then at nighttime, with the 2 lanterns hanging off of it, I got to stare at it more. So that was cool. Oh yeah. And then, you know how I have the Eiffel Tower over there? Well, I found this one. I got it for like $3. And it's like you hang earrings and necklaces and stuff like that. But Serenity and I were like, let's play golf through it. So, yeah, that's really fun. Look at the frostiness. Frosty, 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 frosty. It really is cold out here. But I got some tough stuff, so, you know, you gotta roll with it, man. All these sunny flowers. And they're popping up pretty good. It's a tiny bit of a nippy wind. Just enough to get you. So my ear's a little better. It's like each day it's a little better, but I'm still like, oh, is it cold? Cold, 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 cold. Look at that. I should have ate that piece. Dang, man. But, listen. You see how droopy that is? And how sad? So sad. Very, very sad. But I'm not sad about it. But before I run the other way, I want to look at this mountain. Oh, you can't even see the tip this morning. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh. But see, I'm not worried about it. Okay, I'm hurrying. I'm hurrying as fast as I can. I'm hurrying. Because of that. I've had these 4 years. Look how tall that is. Dang. That is tall. I'm going to step back. That's pretty tall. Should have ate that one too. But no, because I need it to go to seed. Need it to seed itself out and keep going. There's some sunflowers up here, as we can see. I'm gonna get too close to my sunflower line. Oh, man. It is nippy. But, thing about it is out here in this desert, is it warms up faster than a teenage rumor. Ugh. But, you know, like stuff is doing its thing. Everything is looking normal. That's what it always looks like. Is what I notice. With me growing out here is that this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. Growing out here in the high desert. And, you know, it probably doesn't help that I'm I don't know, when do you stop being a newbie gardener? Like, okay, so I started growing my sunflowers in 2015, just sunflowers. I didn't, because I lived in Central Point, and the house that we were renting, had like roses out front, and then it had like, it looked like it was probably at one time a really nice backyard, and then, you know, whatever. And so we landscaped it and trimmed up the trees, and then I planted sunflowers, and that was it. The package that I got at the dollar store. But the sunflowers were massive, and that was really cool. And I did that for like a couple years, and then I moved back to Bandon, and I had irises, because I had irises in Central Point too. And I moved back to Bandon, so I just had irises, and I didn't have time for anything else. Oh, I had some roses, and then I stayed in Bandon for like 3 years or whatever. And then, so 15, 16, 17, 18, yeah. And then 2019, I moved out here, and I decided I wanted a garden. Like, I really wanted to try. I never had grown anything besides those sunflowers, like on my own. Everything else was already grown at the other house. And the irises. But I wanted to try something on my own. And so then when I moved here, my neighbor Jack, he's asleep in death. But when I first moved out here, I met my neighbor Jack and his wife Kenny Sue. And they had all these irises. And he's like, hey, you said you wanted to start a garden or whatever, and you wanted to try your hand at some stuff. I can give you some free irises. And I started out with 2 grocery bags of just these, you know, the root part of the irises. And I brought them back here, and I took that green turtle, and I filled it up with water. I didn't know what to do. And then I just dumped them all in there because it was so hot. It was really, really hot then. And then I just planted them all along the house right there. And then I went to the dollar store, and because I remembered that I had sunflowers. I still had a bunch of sunflower seeds from 2015 from when I harvested. So I planted those. And then I went to the dollar store, and I went and I bought a whole bunch more different kinds of seeds. And tried growing a bunch of stuff. I bought like a tomato. I remember that year my tomato did do pretty good. But that's because I had it in a pot. And because the birds stole 3 of my cherry tomatoes, and I found them, one was sitting on that wood post over there. And then like one was on the ground and then one was in the middle of my garden. And I barely had a garden then. But I found those 3 and I was like, what? And I could tell that birds had stolen them. So I didn't trust my tomato plant outside. So only when I was outside. So the tomato plant I kept right by my front door and I kept an eye on it and it grew wonderful. At nighttime I would bring it in. And then, but I don't want to grow tomatoes because you have to do that here. So unless you're going to have a tomato plant like on your porch, it's, oh, see, it's clearing up a little bit. I can't pack it in and out because I have that fig tree on that rolly cart thingy that I already have to push in and out. And that's like barely. Hey, Wookie. What up? What's up, Wookie? What's up, Wookie boy? His name is actually Lucky 7. Well, his first name is 7. But we call him Lucky. And then I call him Wookie. Wookie, 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 Wookie. Don't jump on the fence. I'll mess you up. I'll get you. I'll get you. I'll pinch your nose. I'll pinch your nose. Don't jump on the fence. All right. Bruce isn't out here. No, Bruce is not out here. Anywho, so Serenity she wore my taco socks yesterday. And then I was playing the song, It's Rainy Tacos. And so then she decided that because she doesn't have very many ASMR videos or whatever it is that she does. She's struggling on, well, that broccoli is looking good. Oh, look at that. Sunflower. With coming up with videos to do. So she's like, I'm just going to model your socks and come up with songs for your socks. And I was like, okay. And she has like endless supplies because both my daughter Krisha wears like, she's more conservative, but she wears like socks with like toilet paper rolls and then or like postage stamps or US mail, whatever, because she, she's a postmaster. So she likes to wear funny socks like that. And then my son, he wears like Van Gogh, Leonardo da Vinci, Monet, Pete Mondrian, like any kind of crazy, wild, abstract or messy artist. Which is really weird because you'd think I'd be the one wearing those, but whatever. And then I wear like Twinkies, Twizzler, South Park. I don't even like South Park. I just like the socks. I don't know. Like whatever my aunt buys me pretty much. So I was working on this arch. I'm trying to get I'm bending the pool noodle. It's going to be it'll be wider. It's just that I'm working on bending the pool noodle so that let me walk back, so that it bends. And I have it pulled way down, so that the hole gets stretched a little bit, so, And then obviously, I think this is where I'm going to put it. Is where I'm aiming towards, like this spot, but I'm going to have it wider, obviously, because it has to be wide enough to fit the broom down it. And then, I have green spray paint, but I'm like on the fence right now on whether I'm spray painting it just yet or not, because like, I thought about buying a hula hoop, and I saw how some people online take a hula hoop and they cut it in half, and then it gives them that hard, like, then they can run the pool noodle over it. But I don't know. I mean, why? I don't understand why. And then my aunt, I told her, I said, well, she asked me where I got the idea for the crutches. And I said, well, because like this, I saw this video where a girl was talking about, she took 2 the broomsticks from the dollar store. It was like $1 a piece. And she did that with the pool noodle. But when I was standing in the store holding those broomsticks, I was like, yeah, but I'm way taller than these. Like, it's just not, it would be a short arch. I don't want a short one. I don't want one I have to duck to go under. I'm naturally short. I would like to feel like everything is monster size. I have little man syndrome. I fully admit that to me, bigger is better, but, and I know that that's not 100% true, but I have that syndrome. Oh, and then there's this thing is so much taller. So here's what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to take this. I'm going to have to put this piece here. I'm going to have to take this piece and either put it right here, or no, take this piece and put it right here. Take this piece, this whatever, fencing, chicken wire, whatever it is, and I'm going to have to put it right here, because this bed, everything looks small and tiny, and look, there's the kids. Bye. There's the bus. It gets out of control because everything in this bed is like 2 to 2.5 feet to get to 3 feet tall. Like, it just, boom, gets big, huge. So and then it overflows, and then my sidewalk is just, and then, because those are California poppies, when a California poppy blooms, and when it's done, and when it seeds out, you can hear the seeds. They pop. They're like pop, and then you hear, and it's just like seeds just raining down into the bed. You can hear it. It's crazy. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's its own music. But things get really crazy because when you walk out here, you can see black seeds just all over everywhere. You can see it like on everything. So in order for me to maintain as much of it as I can, I keep it fenced. Okay? And I always recommend California poppies. I know they get out of control, but check it out. The bees, it is such a huge food source for them. They love them so much. And if you water in the morning, the little flowers fill up with little bits of like drops of water, and it gives them just a nice breakfast. It's a wonderful breakfast for them to wake up and have a water source and then have their breakfast. It's just a great, and it's beautiful. It looks beautiful out here. Although sometimes the bees get here before the poppies decide to open up, and you see the bees just trying to force them open. It's so cute. I stand here and watch them all the time. They're like, ah. So my California poppies was my biggest. That changed my whole entire garden too, because it brought in the pollinators like crazy. So that was really good. But there's a mixture in here. There's bachelor buttons, there's California poppies, there's whatever this natural, I don't know what this green flower with these, or this green fern-like thing with these bluish flower thingies are. It's something that grows here. It's a native wild flower, and those poof out with lots of blooms. I get them out there in the lawn all the time. We mow them down out there, but here I transplanted, what I did was just didn't dig it up. I just went and I chopped when it was like at seeding, when it was starting to seed. I just went and chopped down a couple of them, and I just threw in this bed, I just threw them down there, and this is what I got. Well, I threw it in a line, see? And then that's what I got. I got a straight line of them. So that's what I did. I just saw it growing wild. I noticed that it was not thorny. There was no, it was just, it looks pretty, kind of, you know, like foof it up a little bit. And I liked it. I liked the color. I thought, oh, it's got like a little bluish purple with the orangish California poppies and the different color bachelor buttons. It would be great. I thought that would be fantastic. And so it is a native thing to them. Also, I have a frog living underneath this tub somewhere. I don't know how. And that turkey, make sure he's not frozen in there. But I don't know if it's him or not. But I found him in my dog's water dish in the house. Just swimming around the water dish. And Bruce is all crying and whining about it. And I go over there and there's like, bah! So I kicked him outside. So I don't know if he made it back to that tub or not. Couldn't believe it. I was like, Bruce, you're supposed to be a guard dog. Kicked him. See, this was wider heart, but I just kind of pushed the rocks in a little bit. I need to fix this. I was thinking about putting this up on an edge. And then I could pile the rocks up. Because this bed also is a wild flower bed. I have 2 of them. They're kind of like my junk beds. This was my first junk bed, which helped me realize that when you have a garden, you need a junk bed. And what I mean by a junk bed is a bed that you can just dump your old flower pot dirt in. Because, like, I change out my house plants, the dirt in my house plants. I buy dirt for that. And then you gotta have a place to dump that dirt. You know? So I just dump it in a junk flower bed. And you know, just let that. And then you just kind of dig around and like your houseplant stuff is not going to grow out here. I've never had it happen. So you just, you know, I just dump it in there, you know, and now I have 2 of them because my houseplants are getting a lot bigger. I've interchanged. I have different ones. I have one that's really big. So that it's like the pot is not almost as big as these barrels, but skinnier, but tall. And it takes a lot of dirt. And so I have to have a place to dump that dirt. And it's a black rose succulent, but it's like 3 feet tall. So, you know, in the summertime, I kick it outside, so you'll be seeing it a lot. All my flowers are going away on my tree, and my tree's turning really green. Ah, the changes. I think I only had 1 or 2 flowers on this one. But man, is it really bushing out. And that stalk is getting really nice and thick. I'm really enjoying that. And yeah, the flowers are all starting to... And there really wasn't any bees. I mean, I've seen a few, but nothing to knock your socks off with yet. I need more flowering stuff. I need earlier flowering stuff is what I need. So I'm going to have to look into that. Well, pansies flower early, and pansies are non-toxic. So that might be something that I could just get pansy seeds and sprinkle pansy seeds in every single flower bed. And then it's no big deal. Who cares if they come back? You just plant kind of like around them, move them. They're small, easy. Like I could do pansies all in here too, because pansies would bloom way earlier. That's a good idea, actually, because the tulips I just don't have enough tulips. So that is something I'm going to have to think about. My irises are getting ready to bloom. I thought the bachelor buttons would bloom pretty early, but they're not. They're going to bloom anytime. They're going to do the same. They're probably going to be the same as the irises. So I need something like more of this, whatever this orange thing is, but I got to figure out if it's toxic or non-toxic. Because I don't want, I would rather non-toxic stuff, edible stuff, be wherever I'm going to grow my food. So, like, more Johnny Jumpers, because Johnny Jumpers are edible. I don't eat them, but they're non-toxic. You can decorate cakes with them and stuff. I don't bake cakes, but they do bloom early, and they stay blooming late. So, Johnny Jumpers and pansies are definitely two early bloomers and late bloomers and non-toxic that are two go-aheads. And it doesn't matter if they get everywhere, because like I said, they're non-toxic. They're not thorny. They're not really that big of a deal. So I could really do up this bed with them. I don't even care if they grow everywhere, to be honest with you. I don't even pluck them out half the time. See how they're growing by my garlic? These are Johnny Jumpers. There's a different name for them. My mom called them Johnny Jumpers, so I call them Johnny Jumpers. But yeah, I have one growing right there on the ground. But those, they're more like of a, ground cover type thing. And they spread. All of these, I didn't plant any of these out here. My Johnny Jumpers, my original, when I planted Johnny Jumpers, I think it was my second year gardening. I'm on my fourth right now. My fourth summer. Wait, 2019, yeah. So my garden started in the summer of 2020. See, these are pansies. Look how well they bloom out. And you can just plant around them or plant these as a border. I don't know. I'm going to have to get more pansies. But originally, my Johnny Jumpers, where was I going? Right here. This bed is supposed to be azaleums or whatever and Johnny Jumpers. And this is where they started. And now I barely have any Johnny Jumpers here. And they've spreaded throughout here, which I don't care. So I think I can I'll do pansies and Johnny Jumpers in this bed. That would be good because it's right next to my food, so it doesn't matter. I want chamomile, lavender, and carnations. I'm not giving up on that. I should do some in here too. I'm just afraid that if they get choked out and then they don't come back. Because it gets crazy in this bed. Like nuts. I don't know if I can reach that. And then I could do pansies and Johnny Jumpers in here. That would be fine. And I can do some pansies and Johnny Jumpers in here. That's fine. There's a big patch of Johnny Jumpers I've been leaving alone right there. So I'll just leave this bed alone. Because I'm trying to have more asparagus than anything in this bed. And then same thing with back there. Same thing with this bed. That's fine. It's fine in this bed. Because most of my food is going to be right along that line. I think along that line and in front. These two beds in front. And then that one's a food bed. This is a corner food bed. food bed, and there's another food bed up there. And then back here, I could do Johnny Jumpers and pansies, but I don't know how well they'll survive every year because this is where I do my sunflowers, and they just pretty much annihilate anything that, because you got to pull up those stalks and it just pulls up everything. So I don't want to have to keep planting. The whole goal for me is to get as much of my stuff to grow back on its own every year. And eventually, not these two garden hoses because these ones are newer, but my big green one's eventually going to give out on me. I've taped it up once. That's your first warning. And then, so I think I might be able to make it through the summer with my green one, but next year it'll probably be toast, which is fine because then I'll just bury it in the ground. All right, I won't bury it. My son will be digging a trench after the season. All like across there, he'll dig a trench and we'll put the part of it, the garden hose, underground. And then when it comes around here, I'll attach it to the fence. Or probably he will be attaching it to the fence. And then he'll poke holes in the hose. And I'll have him run it all the way down. And after the sunflowers come and go, I think I'll push the dirt and make a mound and put the hose on top of the mound so that the water runs off the mound and down. So I'm going to make this a slope. And then, or he's going to run it like that. And as far as the hose will go. And then I'll just put an old garden handle, thingy on the end of it to plug it off. And then that way that will water and I won't have to run a sprinkler on this whole line around. And I think that green hose will go all the way to the end. That whole length. It's like 125-foot hose. Or something like that. So it should work. Okay, well today we're off to Ben to go and get my ear looked at. And make sure it's healing up naturally. Because I prefer not to take anything. So, but, still have to get it looked at and get some advice on it. I think it's healing up on its own. I've been keeping it covered. I've been staying out of the wind. I've mostly been staying home and resting. Eating really good. All the schmeal. The schmeal. All right, 33 minutes? Wow. My yabbering has completely gotten out of control. I should be spending most of my time wishing you guys a good day. I'm so selfish. And I'm so sorry to my beautiful subs. So, I want to wish you a beautiful, glorious day. Oh, look at those birds over there. And I would love for everything to go your way. And that you set some goals, and even if they're small, which they should be, you should always set 5 small goals. Then, 5 medium goals, 5 higher goals, and then at least 1. Oh my gosh, that would be my dream. And if it came true, I'm grateful for all my goals. Because that's what, I do that, but that's just me. You don't have to do that. But it's good to set goals. But you should set some easy ones. And if you do set goals, I hope one is fulfilled today and it makes you feel good. And I hope that if you go to work, I hope it's a good day at work. If it's your day off, I hope you're treating yourself to some relaxation. Maybe a Epsom salt bath. or, you know, just something that makes you feel good. Anyway, wishing you good vibes. Wishing you lots of peace, love, and happiness. A lot of peace. I'm wishing you a lot of peace, a lot of love, and a lot of happiness. And joy. Like I feel when I look out at this. I can't believe I got this for $5. And that other 6-foot stick. I got both of them. So I don't know if I should count that other one as just $1 and this is $4. But technically I got the two together. And I can't even dream of something better. Like, oh, so much. I do. And one of the problems that I'm having with this is the only downside of it is I want to stand. Look at my phone with the, I don't know if you guys can see the glove on the end. I'm so cheesy. Oh, but I love this thing. It's going to be nice. I got to fill this hummingbird thing up. And I found this old bird feeder of my mom's. I have to fix it a little bit because it's got like a... So I might try to put a piece of wood, you know, like on the inside. I got to figure it out a little bit. I just had to look at it because it was pretty windy yesterday and I wanted to see how windy it was. Because if it's just too windy to hang that up like that, then I'm also going to have to take like a rope and make it, which I'm going to probably do it anyway just for caution, and put a connection between the two so that it can't swing out. I'm going to do it for that too. I'm pretty sure. I don't know about the lanterns. I'm hoping not. Because it can get windy, crazy windy out here. I don't want to be like, oh, it's going to be windy today. I need to go. Well, I only leave this stuff hanging up in the summer. I don't know. I could be just over whatever. Okay, but let me wish you guys a happy, happy, happy day. Happy peace, love, and happiness. I got to thank you guys so much for watching these crazy videos. Like, I've noticed it before, hardly anybody watched my videos. But lately, more people have been watching them. And I'm mostly just used to just a couple people that watch them. And I've gone from like 8 people watching them to like some videos are like 333. Like my shorts, no big deal. I can get a couple thousand. But I don't say anything, really. But these longer videos, whoa, they're like totally finding out my personality. Look at just specks of snow. Party. Oh, that means the coldness is going away, even though I'm wearing gloves right now. And what's hilarious is I'm not wearing matching gloves because this glove is on the other end of my phone. So there's like, you know, there's three uses for the gloves, as you can see. Hold on, let me see. I need a glove for this hand, so this had to be a different glove. And you would have thought that I would have just put the 2 matching gloves on. You would think that. But I didn't, because this one has a double glove. And this one is one. But see, these are Text Touch finger gloves. These, no. Like, you'll be there all day. And I have a head covering on, and I'm wearing my robe. Trusty robe. But I am only wearing flip-flops. You know. So, that's how that goes. All right, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. And peace, love, and happiness. Ooh, look how pretty blue that is with that green, with the floofy clouds. So pretty. Look at that. It's looking like clear skies for the drive. Because it's 90 miles to Bend, and that's where doctors are. So it's clear drive. Clear skies for the drive. Boy, I can come up with some really cool t-shirt slogans, huh? Clear skies for the drive. That's cool. And then I thought of one. I don't know. I need to go blow my nose. My sinuses have been draining regularly, which is helping my ear. So, maybe it wasn't the smoke. I'm thinking maybe one of the kids got me sick because their kid was sick down there. But it's a baby. He's like a year old. You know? But I don't know. Like maybe one of the kids brought it. Who knows? Or it was the smoke. I don't know. It's confusing now. All right. I'm still blabbering on. I must go. Peace, love, and happiness, my subs. Thank you for watching. Bye. Okay, wait. Maybe these text gloves don't work. And we try again. And again. Come on. Oh, okay, wait. Now, how am I going to do this?